Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
San Diego County's mobile crisis response teams are set to lose state funding. Thank you for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. The teams respond to mental health emergencies in schools and in communities. KPBS health reporter Heidi DeMarco spoke to a youth psychiatrist who says the specialized teams can make a critical difference for children in crisis.
Experiencing hallucinations, not on medication.
Mental health teams like these have responded to more than 32,000 calls across San Diego County since 2021. Local behavioral health leaders say proposed state budget cuts are threatening the future of those services. Nadia Pravari-Brahms is San Diego County Behavioral Health Services Director. She says a funding commitment from the state led them to expand services to tribal communities and schools.
And over the last 18 months, our teams have responded to more than 600 calls in schools.
Under Governor Gavin Newsom's budget proposal, mobile crisis response would no longer be a mandatory statewide Medi-Cal benefit beginning in 2027. Brahms says that would shift more of the cost to counties. San Diego County says the local program cost about $24 million a year. Right now, it's paid for primarily through state and Medi-Cal funding. The county says to keep the mobile crisis response teams, it would have to cut another program.
Without those teams, law enforcement would have responded, which often escalates situations and can be stigmatizing for children.
Even when officers are compassionate and well-intentioned, they don't have as much training in terms of behavioral health responses, especially in a crisis situation.
Dr. Charmi Patel Rao is a youth psychiatrist. She says mental health professionals are trained to recognize psychiatric distress, de-escalate, and connect youth with support. She says the response youth receive during a mental health emergency can have lasting effects.
Unfortunately, when youth and families experience that the response is traumatizing or punitive, then they may avoid seeking help in the future.
County behavioral health leaders say if state funding disappears, school and families could lose access to mental health teams designed to respond to psychiatric emergencies before they become even more serious. The governor and legislature are expected to finalize the state budget in the coming weeks. Heidi DeMarco, KPBS News.
We're in the final stretch of the 2026 primary election. One race in North County could change the power dynamics at the San Diego County Board of Supervisors. Democrats currently have a 3-2 majority on the board. KPBS North County reporter Alexander Wen looks at the candidates for the District 5 seat.
The San Diego County Board of Supervisors is supposed to be nonpartisan, but party politics have always played a role in the board's decisions. Before 2020, the 5-member board was a conservative stronghold. Democrats took over when Nora Vargas and Tara Lawson-Rima won seats that year. The 2026 election could give Democrats a 4-1 supermajority, further shrinking Republicans' influence in county politics. 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and an independent are vying to replace Republican Jim Desmond in District 5. Desmond is termed out and is running for Congress to replace Darrell Issa. The district covers the northernmost expanse of San Diego County, from Oceanside to Ocotillo Wells to the east and Escondido to the south. For Republicans, the 2 candidates are
I'm Mayor John Franklin, City of Vista. I'm running for county supervisor in the 5th District.
And San Marcos Mayor Rebecca Jones. Jones declined an interview for this story. She's endorsed by Carl DeMaio's Reform California PAC. Franklin is endorsed by Valley Center Republicans. The Republican Party of San Diego County is not endorsing either candidate. Franklin says he's running because downtown San Diego problems are becoming North County problems.
And they've come to Oceanside, Vista, San Marcos, Escondido, and even Fallbrook and Valley Center. We have a homeless problem that we can solve in this county if we choose to.
On the Democratic side, there's former Deputy Chief of Staff and District Director for Congressman Mike Levin.
My name is Kyle Crahell, and I'm running for the San Diego County Board of Supervisors for District 5.
And a former chair of the La Jolla Band of Luiseño Indians.
My name is Norma Contreras, and I'm running for County Supervisor.
Crahell is endorsed by the San Diego County Democratic Party. He says he's running to make housing more affordable so regular workers can live where they work.
Our nurses, our firefighters, our teachers can't afford to live in the communities they serve. And I want to try to make that better by making sure that housing is more affordable, that we control the cost of energy, that we make sure water doesn't keep going up.
Contreras says she's running because there needs to be a diverse voice representing North County. She says she is that voice because she is of Hispanic and Native American descent.
We have a lot of Hispanics. We have 8 tribes in the North County, and so there needs to be some representation.
The 5th candidate for this seat is a public health professional who is running as an independent.
My name is Sasha Miller, and I am running for San Diego County Board of Supervisors, District 5.
She says she's running because of the major affordability crisis in North County.
People should be able to afford shelter, housing, medicine without stressing themselves and really choosing one basic necessity of life over the other.
All the candidates agree affordability is a major issue, but differ in their approach to solving it. Contreras wants to stop raising taxes and get rid of outdated laws that burden regular citizens.
We want to make sure that outdated policies and laws are updated to benefit the people and not just the city or the county. And then also working to find sustainable housing for our low income.
Franklin says building more housing, including single-family homes, is key to solving the affordability issue.
We're spread out. We're bucolic. We're semi-rural. We're suburban. And that is what we want to stay. We need a supervisor for North County that will fight for low density. And that's what I'm a fighter for. We've got to build the housing. We've got to build homes that people can raise their families in.
Crahell agrees more housing is the answer, but says the county should also create more affordable housing of its own.
The county also needs to play more of a role in making sure that we are both permitting more housing and also providing its own housing, whether through public-private partnerships for more affordable housing at all kinds of levels, whether it's very low all the way up to moderate.
Miller also supports expanding public housing, but opposes urban sprawl.
That means having walkable communities. That means not building single-family homes that cost $700,000, $800,000. For example, in Oceanside, there is a plan to build 600 single-family homes, to build housing that really only a small percentage of people can afford.
The primary election is June 2nd. To learn more about the candidates, visit KPBS Voter Guide at kpbs.org/voterhub. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
Now, early voting for the California primary election is underway. Ballots have been mailed and drop boxes are open countywide. The KPBS Voter Hub is our resource for anyone who's thinking about casting their vote. We have explainers on many of the races, the candidates, and on the issues. The same information is also available in Spanish. Go to kpbs.org and look for the Voter Hub links at the top of our homepage. City leaders announced a major deal this week that lowers the trash fee and restores free parking to Balboa Park. It'll have big political impacts. In this week's Why It Matters segment, Voice of San Diego Scott Lewis explains how it came together and what it means now.
Well, there's no longer a meteor headed for the city's budget. And we're just driving toward a pothole. The new deal will put the trash fee for households in the city of San Diego that get city service at almost $39 per month for the big can. Slightly lower than they would pay now, but much lower than the $55 per month they would have paid starting next year. That deal came after San Diego City Council President Joe LaCava met with former Mayor Kevin Faulconer during a trip to Washington, D.C. Faulconer now leads the Lincoln Club, a conservative political organization. They made an initial deal that would have lowered the fee to $25 per month and removed it from property tax bills, forcing the city to put up its own collection system. Faulconer had said that was the only deal he would take. But the city council rejected that deal and set up an all-or-nothing ballot measure. Then they kept talking. Council leaders got a higher rate and left it in the property tax bills, but the Lincoln Club insisted on another prize, repealing paid parking at Balboa Park. It showed how much they wanted the deal, too. They weren't exactly excited to be the ones sending the meteor toward the city's budget and setting up a fight even the city's police officers would have joined. Here was former Mayor Kevin Faulconer at an announcement of the deal.
The goal was always the same. How do we help protect San Diego families, protect taxpayers, and ensure an agreement for a better outcome for San Diegans? That's why we started this effort to begin with.
Now they have effectively neutralized the two most controversial issues in city politics, the ones animating conservative campaigns in the city, most prominently Richard Bailey's in his race for City Council District 2. And it also protects others, like Councilmember Raul Campillo, who did not like the fee, but also was reluctant to support repealing it. Now he doesn't have to choose. It was the most significant compromise in the city of San Diego in decades. For Voice San Diego, I'm Scott Lewis, and that's why it matters.
Public Matters is a collaboration with KPBS, iNewsSource, and Voice of San Diego. Find more of our coverage at kpbs.org/publicmatters. The Islamic Center of San Diego welcomed local Muslims to Friday prayers today in Claremont. On Monday, police say 2 teenage shooters killed a mosque security guard, staff member, and neighbor. The 3 victims were laid to rest Thursday after a public memorial in Mission Valley. You can find that coverage on the KPBS YouTube page. A local nurse who joined a humanitarian aid flotilla to Gaza is out of Israeli custody and on her way back to San Diego. Mia Dominguez is one of hundreds of people detained this week by the Israeli military when their boats were captured in the Mediterranean Sea. On Thursday, Dominguez arrived in Turkey. She and other released activists say they experienced physical abuse and other mistreatment.
And I didn't even have it as bad as some of the other people there. Other people were tased, kicked. I didn't have any of that. They let me out afterwards, but I was kind of dizzy. I was afraid to fall asleep because I thought I had a concussion.
Supporters of Dominguez say they are still working on logistics, but expect her to arrive home in San Diego early next week. San Diego civil rights leader Harold Brown died this month. KPBS race and equity reporter Katie Hyson says his legacy lives on.
Dr. Harold Brown was a legend even before the civil rights movement, a basketball star at San Diego State University and president of the school's first Black fraternity. In 1961, he founded a local chapter of the Congress of Racial Equality. He led protests against giants like Bank of America and SDG&E, companies that wouldn't hire Black San Diegans. He was jailed, but he persisted.
We sent our voices throughout the city of San Diego that we're going to continue to fight.
Brown spoke with KPBS Midday Edition last year.
We had songs like, we said, ain't nobody going to turn us around. We're going to keep on walking, keep on talking, walking down Freedom Lane.
In 1966, he hosted a live call-in radio show. He discussed racial issues.
Black people love freedom, every bit as much as white people love freedom. Wherever freedom is being denied, whether it is in the continent of Africa or whether it is in the continent of North America, the cry will be, let freedom ring.
In 1971, racial conflict at SDSU came to a head. Students stormed the administration building. The school then hired Brown as their first Black administrator. He created the Africana Studies Department and hired Shirley Weber, who's now California Secretary of State.
Would I be Secretary of State if I hadn't come to San Diego and met all the people that I met? I don't know.
She says it was a tense time.
There were a lot of race issues in San Diego, an awful lot. My students complained about the N-word being written on the doors in the dorms, and there were always conflicts and little kinds of things that were representative of lynchings and this and that kind of stuff. They also had a slave sale on an auction on the campus.
Weber says many people saw ethnic studies as a fad, but Brown brought a business mindset to the department, and he taught the faculty how to navigate campus and local politics.
We were as influential in San Diego at San Diego State as we were as influential as we were in the politics of San Diego and the businesses of San Diego.
Weber says when Brown attended SDSU, there were about 8 Black students. He revisited campus a couple years ago.
You know, a tear ran down Harold's face. He was just so excited over looking at what all of his sacrifice and work had come to be.
8 students had grown to more than 1,300. Lack of representation in the 1970s went beyond campus. San Diego had very few Black doctors or lawyers, judges or politicians. Brown worked to change that. He founded a Black professional group and an economic empowerment program.
This guy was the most persuasive guy that I've ever met.
One of his recruits to the cause was military veteran Joe Outlaw. After a presentation, Brown called out to him.
Come here, Colonel. I said, what does this guy want? He said, I want you to work with me. Harold was a type of guy that if he saw you, he didn't ask you, did you want to participate? He kind of told you.
Brown had this way of drawing people into the mission of Black empowerment, including Bernard Johnson, who called Brown Mr. San Diego.
He was in touch with not just the Black community, but the white community. They loved Dr. Brown. That was impressive to me, considering the civil rights was always somewhat of a segregated kind of thing.
He says he and Brown worked to redevelop historically redlined southeastern San Diego.
Hope was just something he believed that other people should believe in, but the audacity is what he believed in. And that audacity was like, I'm going to make this happen. We're going to do this.
Even as Brown aged, he was determined to keep fighting.
He says, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. He says, but tomorrow I'll be better because tomorrow I'll be ready to boogaloo. That was his favorite saying. We're going to boogaloo tomorrow.
In recent years, many of the rights Brown fought for have been challenged. In late April, the Voting Rights Act was gutted. Weeks later, Brown died on his 92nd birthday.
And I answer the question all the time, Hal, why don't you stop? You've done enough now. You ought to just sit back and rest and relax.
Brown again on Midday Edition last year.
And I would tell him, I can't do that. I'm still fighting for all of the people who came before me. I came from humble beginnings. You know, I'm fighting for my mother, my family, my friends. If they can't fight, I can fight. And I'm going to continue to do that until the day I die.
His friends say he kept that promise. Katie Hyson, KPBS News.
KPBS Midday Edition is the place to find more in-depth conversations with the people who shape San Diego. New episodes air weekdays at noon on KPBS FM. You can also stream KPBS Midday Edition wherever you get your podcasts. The Late Show on CBS is now part of television history. Stephen Colbert hosted the final episode last night in New York amid a public feud with the President of the United States. Brian Abel has highlights from the finale.
Lights out for the iconic Late Show at the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York, with Stephen Colbert, the show's second host after David Letterman, delivering his last monologue.
Tonight is our final broadcast from the Ed Sullivan Theater, where, we were lucky enough to be here for the last 11 years.
Before the final taping, fans lining up outside.
Every night we would watch this show together, and it's the closest I've been to my mother in years. I think he's really loved and enjoyed this particular theater. He's kind of made it home, and it's just really sad that it has to end.
At the start, celebrities playfully interrupting to jockey for the final guest spot.
I wrote a poem. It's not you either, Tim.
You know what? You got what you deserve.
That bit a nod to the show's cancellation, CBS saying it was purely a financial decision. But many call the timing suspect, as CBS owner Paramount was then looking for approval from the Trump administration for a merger with Skydance, and Trump is no fan of Colbert. In the end, the final show avoiding mentioning Trump, instead...
Well, who's going to be my last guest now?
Hey, Steve, what about me?
Creating a full circle moment. The popularity of Sir Paul McCartney's Beatles exploding after their appearance on the very same stage in 1964. McCartney, the show's last guest, singing Hello Goodbye. Then doing the honors of closing up shop. Brian Abel reporting.
I'm William Brangham. Tonight on the NewsHour, what Tulsi Gabbard's resignation as the Director of National Intelligence means for national security. Coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
Well, it appears to be a new era for the famous fireworks show at SeaWorld. Drones are taking over starting tonight. SeaWorld decided to phase out the traditional fireworks show, which had been a staple for decades at the theme park. But the nightly fireworks were controversial, especially among nearby residents who complained about the noise. The new show, called Ocean of Dreams, will feature 600 synchronized drones with a soundtrack. You can see it nightly through August 9th. The San Diego Zoo is also starting its summer program tonight. It includes the return of Nighttime Zoo. The extended hours allow guests to see animals that are more active during the evening hours. This is the final year for Nighttime Zoo. Zoo staff say they are working on a new seasonal festival that will debut in 2027.
We do have a really nice forecast coming up through the next few days for our Memorial Day weekend. Pleasant holiday weekend. Temperatures are really not moving a whole lot. We've had, again, we're going to have some minor fluctuations from day to day. Maybe a hint of cooling for the coast. Temperatures may drop a little bit early this weekend for the deserts, but not a whole lot of significant change to speak of. And we talk about May gray or June gloom, sometimes that patchy marine layer of low clouds along the coastline late at night into the early morning. That's what we're in the midst of here, this current pattern. So intermittent clouds late tonight, and they'll be with us into the early part of the morning, and then lots of sunshine, winds out on a warm, pleasant Saturday. Showers and storms into the southern Rockies. If you're traveling for the holiday weekend, maybe to Denver or Albuquerque, you may encounter some of that, but not here in Southern California. So overall, our Saturday forecast looks really nice. 71 Oceanside, Solana Beach, down into areas around San Diego. Chula Vista 70 degrees, El Cajon 77, 93, pretty warm, borderline hot there in Borrego Springs. It was maybe a degree or two warmer than that over the past few days, but still very warm on Sunday as well. In the interior deserts, where you'd expect the heat to be, spotty storms in the Great Basin. And Memorial Day Monday, if there's a change here, it's that maybe we begin to see a little bit of a breeze pick up Monday and Tuesday into the mountains, but we do stay otherwise dry. So a nice Memorial Day for us, just turning a little bit breezy in the interior. Coastal forecast 71s and 72s went out here through Tuesday, and then we will see a little bit more in the way of that May gray or June gloom on Wednesday, with a little more persistence to those low clouds in the morning. 70 degrees. They may linger even into the middle of the day come Wednesday. Inland areas, you can see a mix of sun and clouds. 76 down to 71. A little bit of more of a decisive temperature trend here over a 5-day or 4-day window. We may lose about 5 or 6 degrees. In the mountains here, you're also going to feel a bit more of a cool down. Again, cold maybe should be in quotes there, at least at night into the early morning. It'll be a little nippy up into the mountains early next week, and it will be breezy as well. But into the deserts, temperatures pretty stable through the holiday weekend, 93, 91, 92. It will turn cooler next week into the mid-80s for Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jeff Cornish. Have a very happy start to the weekend as we remember those on this Memorial Day holiday as well.
Well, we're ending tonight's evening edition with some of our Memorial Day coverage from the KPBS archives. In 2023, we reported on a vigil for local military members who died in service. Here is that story from KPBS military reporter Andrew Dyer.
Throngs of people were drawn to the USS Midway Museum this Memorial Day. Amidst the crowd, the names of almost 300 Southern California service members killed in Iraq and Afghanistan rang out.
Army Sergeant First Class Peter M. Tyrell II, 32 years old, Company C, 2nd Battalion, 3rd Special Forces Group Airborne. Born in Towanda, New York, killed when an Air Force MC-130H Combat Talon II transport plane crashed on takeoff in eastern Afghanistan on June the 12th, 2002.
It's part of an annual display by the San Diego chapter of Veterans for Peace, an anti-war veterans organization. Hundreds of miniature grave markers on the lawn outside the museum note the names and hometowns of those killed during the 20-year global war on terror.
At Veterans for Peace, one of our tenets is to show the real cost of war.
5 bells for 5 soldiers killed.
David Patterson is a Vietnam veteran who served in the Air Force. He's been part of the organization for 20 years. He says that highlighting local troops who were killed brings the war home to a society increasingly disconnected from the service.
People are isolated from the cost of war. It's still like Iraq, Afghanistan, still thousands of people died, and but if we don't get out there and put these kind of markers up, people it won't register. In the next war, they won't think that it's a big deal.
Dotted among the graves are also black markers without names. Patterson says those represent war veterans lost to suicide.
So that's why we do this, and basically we're telling people this is the cost of war. What we get from war is misery, death, and of course the military-industrial complex, which has wonderful profits.
Staff Sergeant Justin J. Glikowski, 28 years old.
The organization will also set up the display on Veterans Day.
How many of these kids were killed in this damn thing?
Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
A wonderful story there from the archives by Andrew, and you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. And we have a programming note for you. The KPBS Newsroom will be off on Monday. We will see you back here for Evening Edition on Tuesday night. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Good night.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.